Let's bring back National Trial Attorney Dante Mills just to react to what we heard from the president there. So Dante, there was a lot of talk about Republicans, what they weren't allowing. He made some references to PPP relief costs during the pandemic. But he didn't really say what he plans to do as far as a new plan. He talked about the Higher Education Act, which already existed. He talked about this on-ramp repayment. So he is, it sounds like, trying to get some relief, but it's certainly nothing compared to what this forgiveness plan was proposing.
This is very, very interesting, and let's break it down. He talked about the PPP program. That program was $760 billion, but Congress was involved. This program is $400 billion. Again, it's a large part of the economy, and he still believed he could do it by himself. But here's what they did since the Supreme Court said he couldn't. He's now finding ways to skirt around it, and it's very interesting. So what he's doing is he's knocked down the percent that you have to pay back from 10% to a max of 5% of your total disposable income. So essentially what he said is, okay, Supreme Court, you're saying I can't forgive people's loans. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to make them pay back so little that they get to keep their money anyway. We're knocking that down to 5%. We're going to take 5% of their disposable income after all their bills are paid, which is so little that it's going to feel like they're not having to pay it back. That's a way to skirt around it. What they also said they're going to do is do this 12-month on-ramp program. So it gives people an additional year because they were going to start having to pay back these loans in October. Now they get 12 more months where they don't pay. But the catch is, he said interest was running. So if you can pay, you should. But they gave people 12 more months to start paying back those loans without having to face default or issues on their credit because they failed to pay.
Well, something that stood out to me there was when the president mentioned that Secretary Cordona would be helping to determine who would be eligible, for that Higher Education Act, kind of what you were talking about with the 5% of the disposable income, because it may not be, you may have qualified for that loan forgiveness, but you may not qualify for that Higher Education Act.
Well, here's what they did, and I think there's a distinction there. That 5% max for disposable income is going to be for everyone. And you can pay back more. You can pay back more than 5%, but that's the max that can be required. What they're talking about is creating some situation where there's individual loan forgiveness. And it's very interesting because the Supreme Court yesterday just shot down affirmative action, but it seemed to lead to looking as to why individuals should get preference in going in the admission process for college, and that being okay. It's similar here. He's saying we're not going to say blanket, we're not going to put out a blanket thing that everybody's loan is forgiven. We're going to make individual qualifications. And that is a way to skirt around what the Supreme Court said because the numbers will be smaller. It's not going to impact as many people because there's going to be a qualification process. And that may be a way to skirt around it. So they are looking at other ways that they can help individuals since they can't help everybody at the same time.
Yeah, because there certainly are so many people, struggling with student loans, but again, I see the other side of it where people say, hey, I never took student loans or I paid mine off. What about me? My last question for you, Dante. There's so much back and forth. We just have this ruling from the Supreme Court today. We hear the president's response. I think bottom line, there are so many people watching saying, listen, I just want to know what to do. I mean, should people kind of wait, or is it time to, once that kicks back, it's time to start repaying those loans?
So here's what you should do. You should contact your loan provider and get a new repayment number because that number now has been knocked down from 10% of your disposable income as a max to 5%. So you will have to start paying your loans, but it's going to be less than you paid before. You also have 12 months to gear up to start paying if you can. But if you can start paying that 5% back now, pay it. Because if you don't, interest is going to start running in October. So you're going to have more money that you have to pay back. Short answer, if you can start paying now, pay it, but call so you can pay less.
Right, 'cause don't let that interest get you. All right, National Trial Attorney Dante Mills, thank you so much for your time and your expertise. We appreciate it. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.